back again with take two, and this time we are going to get it right and straight. So yep, so today we are going to try build a Google Assistant app, and like under half an hour. We are going to the basics of how to build an app, how to approach it, and yep. So let's get on to it. So first we had to like get to console.actions.google.com. So this is the interface for it. Here's where we'll create an app and like create the project, add users to it and everything else. So let's start by creating a project. So today's example, I'm gonna show you how to create an app which lets users buy a coffee. So let's name it Coffee Express, and yep, it's creating it. So the advantage with this voice app is like this is available on devices like Google Home, which have Assistant active on it, and even on like your phones like Pixel or wherever Google Assistant is active, you have this app. So yep, here it is. So here you can see the interface which is provided to you. You can either use API.ai or Actions SDK. API.ai actually provides a user interface to create all our conversations, build around it using a user interface, while Actions SDK provides more of a developer's approach, which is like raw JSON formatting and etc., which might be like technically a bit more challenging for non-developers. So today we'll be going ahead with API.ai. So yep, so here once we click on this, we can see create actions on API.ai, which will be used to generate our conversations. Before we get into that, let's get back to our app. So here, yep. So the next step is adding app information. So here we named our app Coffee Express. So let's name it Coffee Express and then give it a pronunciation. Okay, let's make it Coffee Espresso. So as you can see it, Google didn't allow Coffee Express because it was already reserved by someone else. We keep in mind that this name is something sort of a domain name for your website. So it's unique for an app, and please make sure that it is pronounceable for the users, and it should not be a generic word like data scientist or coffee shop, or yeah, it should be something which shows out your business, the idea of your app or something like that. And then we have to give a brief description of our app. So you can use this app to buy coffee. And we have an option of choosing the assistant's voice. So we have 4 options. Google actually provides us with 4 options: male 1, 2, female 1 and 2. Let's select one of it. And then we need to give this thing. The app lets you buy some coffee and give the complete description of it too. Right now I'm just giving a random description. And next is sample invocations. This is where you actually add invocation. What an invocation means is this is the words, exact words which users speak to a device or the Google Assistant to start up your app. So it's preferable to add like somewhere around 5 invocations, something like I'm going to add one more invocation. Get me coffee espresso. But it's actually reliable to add 5 apps because the Google Assistant actually trains itself over this invocation so that it will be more interactable to the users. And then you select a category. Let's put food and drink. And here, yep, you need to add a banner image and the icon which your app displays to the user. So let me go quickly. Sorry for that. Yeah. Keep in mind that you add a large this is great image, maybe like 1090 pixels, so that it's actually visible. And Google does not actually let you upload a small image or image of small resolution. So I'm going to add the same image twice. Yeah, next. And these are the testing instructions. This is actually used for when you actually try to publish your app, the Google actually reviews, and these are the instructions which the review users actually do to test your app. And here we are giving the contact information, my name and my email address. Yep. And some, yeah, and privacy and terms of service. Just I just gave it some random things. So yep. And your app is good to go. Okay, so coming back to the API.AS, so how to actually create your conversations and other things. So on the left, you can see things like intents, entities, integration, and fulfillment. Today, we'll be talking in detail about these things. The others we can explore later on. So let's go and look into what an intent is. Intent actually describes what the user is trying to perform, what the user is trying to get from your app. Say, for example, buying a coffee is an intent, or getting a bill is an intent, or like requesting a callback is an intent, something of the sort. Like, yeah. So by default, you'll be given two intents, a welcome intent, which says greetings, like hello, hi. You can actually customize it. So it says one of these, you can add more responses to it. So yeah, or let's go back. And this is the fallback intent. What a fallback intent is, when the Google Assistant does not actually understand the user's voice, or maybe the user types some random things. This is the response you get back from the app. So these are by default actually already present. Google actually provides them with you. So let's create a new intent. So here it says user says. So this is the exact user's words. I wish to buy. So this intent gets activated when the user says this, I wish to buy. And you can actually give a responses. I'm going to add a response. Okay, here is your coffee. And save it. So once the intent gets saved, the agent training starts, and it takes a few moments to actually finish the agent to train itself, and then you can actually test it out over here. Yep, the agent training is complete. I can like now test it out, I wish to buy, and we are gonna get the same response. Okay, here's the coffee which we all already gave it away. But the intent does not actually contain any other information except that the user wants to buy something. We need to add more details into it. Say, for example, like the type of the coffee, the size of like the coffee, the amount he wants to buy, and other details. In order to do that, you can see something over here which is called parameters. So each intent can have parameters associated with it, and when you click on this, you can add parameters, something like coffee size and entity. So each parameter requires an entity. So entity is something like an object which carries all details about the parameters. So like I go into the details of the entity first before actually finishing it. So I'm going to give an entity by the name coffee size, and I'm going to give values something like large, medium, and small. These are the different parameters which actually identify that this is the size of the coffee. And we are going to save it. And let's add one more entity over here. Let's name it coffee type. So the coffee types are latte, espresso, mocha, and a cappuccino. So let's go back to the, now that we have created our entities, let's get back to the intent and let's name this intent something good like buying instead of I wish to buy. Yep. And save it. So now in the parameter, just say that it is required for the user to specify the type of the coffee. So I'm just going to give coffee type. And once you enter the entity, you can actually see a drill down over here at the rate, coffee size, and coffee type. These are coming from the entities you have already added. So this, and enter the value. Value is something like the name of the parameter. So right now I'm giving it dollar coffee type. Always try to specify the dollar sign before the value. And this is the last thing is a prompt. So what a prompt is like, if the user does not actually specify the coffee type in his statement, this is the prompt the Google Assistant is going to show it back to the user. So what type of coffee do you want? So yep. So now that we have added this required parameter, let's try it again. I wish to buy. Okay, sorry, I didn't save it. Yeah, the agent is getting strained. Give it a few moments before the agent is actually available. Yep. So if we try to do it again. So now the default response here is what type of coffee do you want? It didn't actually finish didn't actually go to the response. It asks for more information from the users. Similarly, we can add more parameters into it. So for example, coffee size and at the rate coffee size and dollar coffee size, and let's leave the input prompt as it is. So yep. And keep in mind that this thing is draggable up and down. So right now the question that if the user doesn't specify coffee size or type, the first question the Google Assistant asks is about the coffee size rather than coffee shop, and we can switch the order in which these values are obtained. And we want the user to actually give this information during his statement. So the original statement looks something like this. I wish to buy a small espresso. So this is rather a static statement. So instead what we do is we select this and it gives us a filter. So espresso is the coffee type, and once you specify it, just a second here. Hold on a second. And small is the coffee size. Yep. These are the parameters I've added before while testing. So let's add this again. 1 second. Yep, there it is. So this is the way you actually define the parameters and connect them with our this thing. And instead, this is a static text response. Instead of this, what we can do is we can go to actions on Google and check this tab And here we can actually create more user interactive responses, maybe a list or a card or something of the sort. Custom payloads, actually Google actually lets us customize this. So this is about intents and entities. So, but not always do we have actual responses right away from the app. These are like static responses the app is giving by itself. We need something more than that. We need something which is actually residing on a server, which is called a fulfillment. So let's go to fulfillment. So I added a fulfillment. This is the server which I'm running. It's actually a node service. And these are the basic authentications and headers. This is just to identify that the incoming request is coming from the Google app, not from an external third party or a hack or something. So, yep. And once we save it and we go back to the intents, and there's this buy coffee intent. And if you can see, use a webhook, and if you tick it and remove the text intent, every single request which is going is redirected back to my web service. So say for example, I wish to buy yeah. So if you can see it over here, this is my response. So the user wants an espresso. Yeah. So it is coming from the response which is being done on to my node service. And if you want to actually view the code, it's rather simple over here. You just need something like actions on Google. And this is the response. So if the intent is buying a coffee, and I'm going to get the arguments coffee type, coffee size, and just okay, here's your coffee. This is the static response which I generated in the node service, but it's up to your creativity, your requirement to actually manipulate these things and get a conversation going with the user. And yep. And one last thing is like yep, the small talk. So you not usually like you use fulfillment usually for like something of the sort where you have to do actions, but not always the user does these things. He actually wants to talk to your app. So here's where you can define things like who are you, how old you are. This is a small talk which the Google enables us to write answers to the generic questions which the user asks your app, and you can actually do it over here in Smalltalk, and this also gets added to your actual actions. And one more thing is like the pre-built agents. So here are things like the pre-built apps which the Google made for you, which actually lets you do things like check data of the flights, news, and you can actually integrate your app with them so that it provides more information along with the actions you program. So once all this done, we are going to integrate this with our actual app, which is residing over here. In order to do that, you just go to actions on Google and update our things we just created, and then it's updated to our app. As you can see, if I refresh it, this thing disappears. Just hold on a second, this might be a slight lag just because I'm streaming. Yeah. So I'm going to give a quick demo using the app I've created. So this is called Archie Voice. I created for Archie. So let's go into the testing of it and see how you can build conversations around it. So this is this. So the name of my app is Archie Voice. So I can start the conversation with talk to Archie Voice. Oh my God. I'm going to log in back. Just give it a second because like I'm trying to stream.
Archie Voice isn't responding right now. Try again soon. Okay, getting the test version of Archie Voice.
Archie here. I am ready.
I'm going to increase the volume so that you will be able to actually hear what it's speaking. So yeah, I'm going to ask it a question. What is my traffic?
In the last 7 days, your traffic was 1,230, down 24.68% from the previous week. Anything else I can help you with?
You can ask it any questions. I'm just going to respond you back. This is how we actually.
Here's one Alexa, Google, and Siri walk into a bar, and none of them had a conversation.
What
else do you
try
need?
to get everything onto here? That pretty much sums up the basics around how to actually create a Google Assistant app. And I want to make a few honorable mentions about these things. One thing is context. In intent, you can see something of the context on the top before even it says user. So this is where you add looping through your conversation. Say, for example, I want to add more questions like, say, do you want your bill? Say yes or no. And you want that conversation to initiate from buying a coffee. So buying a coffee will be your input context, and the billing will be the current context, and your output will be something like generated, here's your bill or something like that. Yep. And you can view more things into slot filling and etc. These things are available on API.ai documentation. Please go through the docs which is available on API.ai and documentation basics. So in-depth details are given about how to create things and like how to generate your conversations. And you can even feel free to reach out to me. I'll be available like always. And one more thing is before like you can create account linking. That's one thing I'd rather missed out. So what account linking is, you don't want to generate your app for a generic audience. You need to identify who is actually using your app. What information should I provide to this unique user? So account linking helps us with that. Google provides options of authorization code and implicit. So authorization code is like our regular OAuth service, which uses our token-based authentication, which has the access tokens and refresh tokens. The user information is stored and sent back to the server with every request, and we can identify the user from that. And Google also provides implicit flows, which actually helps us in a streamlined manner. Once you get implicit and streamlined authorizations, you can use the existing Google authentication to identify your user if you don't have a login system for your server. So yep, that's about it. And you can actually submit your app over here, submit for review, and over a period of time they verify your app, test it, verify if it's meeting all the requirements, the pronunciation, the names, the privacy and terms of service policies, and if all the user information is valid and everything, and you will be approved. And the best part with once your app is approved is like there's no installation procedure. Wherever Google Assistant is available, you just say like, okay, talk to Coffee Express, and your app is ready. And it actually provides a new medium for propagating the business. So yep, that's me signing off from Archie